Welcome back to Diving Deep with Deepak and Darrah, where we make the deep relatable and translatable into your life in a pretty quick amount of time.
Here are the 9 traits of a synchronistic experience. 9, okay? Now, number 1, it's a conspiracy of what seem to be improbabilities. Okay, so you're surprised. You're thinking of someone and they call you on the phone. Or you're thinking of, I have the desire for chocolate ice cream, and your neighbor drops in and said, I brought you some chocolate ice cream. Or, you win the lottery or whatever, but there's a thought involved, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that somehow orchestrates the whole conspiracy of improbable events. Number 1. Number 2, these events that come together are not cause-effect relationships. One is not the cause of the other. They are simultaneous co-arising of interdependent events, relationships, and people, encounters. Number 2. Number 3, which is difficult for most people to understand, these events are orchestrated in a domain that is non-local. Non-local means it doesn't exist in space or time. Right now, this conversation we are having, even though it's at the speed of light through Zoom, it's still, there's a cause-effect relationship. It's in space-time. But synchronistic events are simultaneously. As soon as you have the thought, the other person has the thought. As soon as you have an intention, somebody is having the same intention. Or something is happening that's happening simultaneously. So it's not in space-time. It's in a domain outside space-time, which in spiritual traditions we call the soul. We can talk about what the soul is some other time, because most people don't know what the soul is. Okay? So number 3 is they're orchestrated non-locally. Number 4, they move you into a higher dimension of reality, what we call soul consciousness, cosmic consciousness, divine consciousness, unity consciousness. Another topic for another day, discovering higher states of consciousness. Number 4. Number 5, there's an intention involved. But that intention, you may not even know that you had that intention. Maybe a subconscious intention. In fact, intention goes through 4 stages before you become aware of it. Another conversation. Higher consciousness, intention. That's number 5. Number 6, once you start experiencing them and noticing them, it never stops. Your lifestyle transforms. You can never go back to where you were. It's like a child that's born, can't return to the womb. Number 7, let me try and recall all these. I haven't thought about it for a while. Number 7, emotional. There's a lot of emotional joy that comes with it and a lot of laughter. You say, how did that happen? That's so funny. I was just thinking about that. So there's a lot of emotional fulfillment that comes. That's number 7. Number 8, as a result of synchronicity, you start to actually become very clear about the meaning and purpose of your life, what Eastern traditions call dharma. Okay, that becomes very clear to you that this is your calling and this is why you have incarnated. Okay, and then number 9 would be, once you know the mechanics of synchronicity, you slowly become free of what people call karma, which is based on an illusion anyway. It's based on the illusion of the fragmented, separate mind, when in fact our minds are inseparably connected with the whole ecosystem of all minds. And these days even more, because the ecosystem is on social networks and on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. But you realize that the only time karma is involved is when you think of yourself as separate from all that exists. So that's synchronicity. Now, there are techniques to get there. Another conversation.
Is there a way to manifest, so to speak, more synchronicity? And
Yes, yes, yes. And I wrote a book about that. It's called The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire in America. In Latin America, it's called Synchrodestino in Guatemala. And in England, it's called Synchrodestiny, which is how do you manifest synchronicity by understanding the mechanics and your own destiny or your calling, which we can go into. There are even mantras and sutras and all kinds of techniques to get there. But one hint, as long as your ego is involved, you won't have synchronicity. The moment your ego gets in the way, the separate mind gets in the way, karma intervenes.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, like it, comment, let us know what you loved. Let us know what we can talk to you more about on our future episodes. Subscribe to both of our channels. And we have a free bonus for you at lifebydesignsummit.com/Deepak. The link is below as well, where you can get a free guided meditation and seminar on how to live a more meaningful life. And lastly, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, where you can get daily updates on all of this goodness at Deepak Chopra and at Darrah B. See you next time.